Jared Poland, FroKnowsPhoto.com, here with Lori. Lori, where are you from again?
Holland, actually.
That's right, Holland. You just told me that a couple minutes ago. So Lori is from Holland. Why don't you tell me about these 10 images, what they basically comprise of, and what you're doing?
All right. Well, I'm currently a photography student in Amsterdam, and I've been at it for like a year now. And I'm basically learning to do just about anything because I really want to be an all-around photographer. Like, I want to be able to do anything.
Okay.
So these are basically 10 images that I shot probably within the last year.
All right, so what we are going to do here, by the way, because I didn't say it yet, it's going to be a rapid-fire critique, even though they are never rapid or fire. They'll just be critiques. So why don't we start here with the first one? What are we looking at here?
We're looking at a photo of one of my classmates, and I was basically going for, I just wanted to express emotion in the photo, and I was going for a sort of hiding feelings theme, like shielding your feelings from other people, not wanting to share them.
And what, in terms of lighting, what were you doing here for lighting?
I had one single light coming in, and that was it.
And you're off of seamless paper, it looks like?
Sorry?
Are you using seamless paper?
No.
What kind of background is it?
It was just a wall, actually.
Oh, it's just the wall? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, let's look at composition. In terms of composition, he's right in the middle. Right?
Kind of, yeah.
All right. Again,
Looking
my
at
whole
it
thing with
now-
me... Huh?
Looking at it now, I would have wanted to move him slightly more to the right.
Either way. I mean, it becomes personal preference, but I just... When I'm shooting, I feel that I like to move them off to one side or the other because it makes for a stronger composition. It shows a little more emotion rather than being right in the middle. But I like the processing. It's nice and sharp. You have nice thick black and white here, which is really good. Just in terms of, composition, just work on that slightly.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
So we'll move on. And I didn't even ask you what harshness level did you want?
I don't know. I mean, I do love a big amount of contrast, but I didn't want to overdo it.
I mean, harshness level in terms of me critiquing.
Oh, right. Just say what comes to mind,
Exactly.
really.
That's kind of, I don't even know why I ask what, because I'm going to say the same thing either way. It's going to, everything, I'm not going to rip things apart. And I love this, even though it's cropped. It's cropped square, but it works very well for this. So what were you going for here? What was this assignment?
It wasn't actually an assignment. I was doing volunteering in Ghana.
Okay.
And we had to interview some of the residents there. And so I talked to this boy for a while and then shot this portrait. So I wasn't really going for anything. I just wanted to shoot him the way he was.
Sure. This is very nice. I mean, it's nicely composed. This is where shooting right in the middle works perfect.
Yeah.
Because everything is symmetric. It's right to, same to the left, same to the right. Really good that way. Nice lighting, nice processing. Did you shoot any, let's say, candid shots of him in his environment at all?
I do have a shot of him actually sitting in front of his house.
Yeah, because it's always good to do, tight shots are great, but then when you're trying to show, like, emotion in images, showing where, him sitting on the porch or the front step or whatever it was is a nice complement to this great photo. So it's always good, this is a great photo, it stands on its own, and then the other photo would be a really cool photo to put next to it, or if you were putting a book together, or doing a little photo story, if you had 5 different images of his story, spending a couple hours with him and things like that. That's what I look for sometimes when I'm doing my images. I'll do the headshots, I'll do the ultra wide shots, and then all together it makes for a really cool story.
I'll keep that in mind because this is actually going to go into the book.
Yeah, so there you go. Like, one page would be this type of shot and the other page would be showing his environment, because I don't know where this is just by looking at it, right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
I don't get a feel for where he's at, and if it's a nice place, if it's not a nice place, and things like that. That's why it's always good to run through, if you can, everything from the ultra wide to the very tight, because like what I used to say is I used to do everything way too tight. I would shoot the head, portraits or headshots that just filled the frame and it was just the person. But if I was at, say, the Eiffel Tower and I did a really tight headshot, you wouldn't really know I was there.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So it's a good mix to do both. But I really like this shot a lot. So
Thank you.
nice job on that. All right, so Graffiti Tunnel,
Yeah,
very nice black and white. What were you just using natural light here, or did you pop off a flash at all?
I didn't use a flash, no.
All right, where is this?
This is right near my house, and it actually goes underneath a highway.
Oh wow. No, it's nice because you see how the leading lines work, how everything draws you into the background.
Yeah,
I start up front, but then I want to know what's back there, and I guess it's steps and the other side of the highway.
yeah, that's what it does.
So it's very nice, nice composition. I like the black and white. Did the color just not work? Was there not enough light there?
There was plenty of light, but the colors were just so bright and just
Just
very,
distracting.
yeah, really distracting.
Okay. No, I like that. I like the composition, like the light, and like the contrast in the prints. All right,
Cool.
so somebody's getting their hair done?
Yeah, this was actually shot for one of my assignments. I had to shoot a theater production, and instead of just shooting the actual show, I wanted to go backstage and shoot all the preparations as well.
That's the best thing you could have ever done. Is
So that's what I did.
Yeah, no, definitely getting backstage and showing things that other people don't normally get to see is great because one, you got access to do it, and two, you actually went here and did it. I keep looking back at the mirror to see the different reflections, and there's different people in there, which is really cool.
Yeah, I
Or
love
really
the lady
spooky
in
at
the
the same
background
time. Huh?
I love the lady in the background looking at her.
Yeah, that's kind of scary if you think about it. It is because it's like, whoa, is that person here because they're looking at you? In terms of processing, is there any reason why you didn't go black and white on this one?
No. I just no, I've never even tried it in black and white.
Try it. Try it a little bit. Try pumping up that contrast. Make it a little, like slide the exposure up slightly. But let's see how thick those black and whites work. It usually works really well for behind the scenes type shots, because the color seems a little muted here. It's like a little greenish yellow.
Right?
So
Yeah.
it may be a little stronger if you do the black and white,
I could try that, yeah.
because then the reflection would pop a little more, and then it could be pretty interesting. But I really like this shot. I like that you got backstage or behind the scenes and captured a nice candid moment like this.
Cool.
All right, group shot.
Yep. The assignment was to shoot like a sort of um, old school band photo. And so I shot this with a Nikon FE.
Okay, so you're shooting film.
Yeah, and this is how it came out.
It's nice. Band shots are to me, one of the toughest things to do because you got two guys with their hands in their pocket and then both the same legs up, and then sometimes you would have the guy with the arms crossed and all that weird stuff. So it
Yeah.
all varies. The composition is right on because you didn't cut off her fingers. I don't mind that you cut off the guy's legs in the background slightly. Did you try any other type of shots like moving the two guys on the outside right behind her shoulders against the wall, and then
No.
coming in a little tighter?
No, because this was actually I think I took two shots and they were the last shots on my film, so
Ah, yes.
didn't have anything else with me.
24 or 36.
36.
It doesn't that's something that most people don't have to worry about these days, is running out of film and knowing that you're only on your last two and you have to make every shot count.
Yeah.
So that's good because I can definitely relate to that when I shot film. But no, I like the composition here. Yeah, nice black and white, especially being that it's shot on film. I think it's really good.
I do like it.
Good. It's definitely very strong.
Cool.
Skulls, and so we got a skull. We have a book. What is this, an assignment, or you're just playing around?
Yeah, it was an assignment. It was we had to do a still life, and I shot this back in November, I think.
Okay.
And I think by now I probably would have done it a bit differently.
What would you do different?
I think I would have moved the glass of wine, and I would have put a bit more light onto it.
Okay. I could definitely see that happening. Another reason, is there any reason why you didn't go black and white again? Did you want to go for that soft, warm color from the candle and stick with it?
Yes, but it also had to be in color
Oh, okay.
for the assignment, so
Well, there you go. Yeah, for a still life, it's definitely hard to say. I mean, because you're using just one candle light, right?
yeah. Yeah, it
Yeah.
was completely dark.
Did you have any reflectors or anything that you could work with?
No, I didn't use any because I just wanted to go for the candle.
Okay. All right. Yeah, in terms of a still life, you did exactly what it, you captured what was there. And you set it up this way, I'm assuming?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's
So
just
would you change anything?
okay, for still lifes, I'll tell you what I used to do with still lifes. I used to walk in, shoot them, and leave, because it wasn't my forte. And I know people are going to leave comments about if I don't like something, then or I don't do that type of thing. There's not much to say. But yeah, sometimes I don't have much to say when it comes to something that I really don't do a lot of still life. So
Yeah, I don't like doing them.
yeah, no, you had to do it for an assignment. You did what
Yeah.
you needed to do, but what would it be used for is a whole nother question. It's more for giving you practice on figuring out how to you set this all manually, all your settings and everything.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
so
always do
I
that.
mean that's really what the assignment's about, is using the candle to figure out the light, and it looks like you got your exposure right on. Yeah, it would be nice if you could see the glass of wine a little more.
Yeah, that's why I said that.
Yeah, but other than that, it is what it is. It's one of those shots. It is what it is.
Fair enough.
So we'll move on. Yeah, I mean it's just still lifes. Yeah. Okay, so we have a Starlight filter on, right?
No filter.
No filters.
That's nope.
So what's causing the flare?
F22, I think.
Really? And you're getting that type of flare off the lights?
Yep.
Wow.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah. So you have long exposure, and you're grabbing a lot of the taillights going by. It's pretty cool. It's definitely pretty cool. Not much.
Yeah, this was shot right near my house.
I wouldn't change too much about it, because it definitely does what it was supposed to do. There's really not much else I would say about it. This wouldn't work in black and white.
No.
And other than that, I think it's right on. There's not much I'd change.
Cool.
London.
Yes.
This is really awesome. I love the color. Great color in the sky. Great color in the clock. The green really helps up there. It's really cool, and you're not really distracted by the moving lights or the plane going through the sky, which is pretty cool when I look at that. I really like this shot. I mean, I wouldn't change very much. There's not much else I would say about it other than I like the colors and I like the angle. It's composed very well, especially that you have Big Ben where it's at, and you have all the spires on the left-hand side, and you didn't cut them off on the left. You left enough room so that it wasn't awkward with where the spire is.
No, cutting them off would have been awkward. Yeah.
Yep. So exactly, you're seeing it. So you're doing a great job seeing the image, which is what half the battle, and you're doing obviously very well with capturing in terms of light and everything. And this is just, I love the colors in this picture, and I like this picture a lot.
Yeah, I can picture it being on a card.
Absolutely. All right, this guy.
Yeah, there's a story to that one.
What's the story?
He was a street artist on Dam Square in Amsterdam, and he's a British guy, and he's rude, he's funny, and as soon as I saw him, I knew that I wanted to shoot him.
Okay.
So I waited for his performance to be done, and then probably spent like an hour with him, and I had this image in my mind, and thankfully I got him to cooperate.
Yeah. Especially he has a knife in his hand.
Yeah, it's fake.
Oh, all right. Just checking. I mean, it's a tough shot because it doesn't convey your story.
No, I mean it's just something that I really wanted to try.
Mm-hmm.
Like I do have an entire series of photos just of him doing his performance, and then he has like a suitcase in which he puts all of his stuff that he uses for his performance. So I have a photo of him dragging that around.
Sure. Yeah.
And of him drinking a beer and all that.
Yeah. What I would definitely say is it has to be a part of the photo story. It's one of those shots that has to be a part of those shots you just told me about. Because without it doesn't really stand on its own too well. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's like the background's kind of distracting because you can see the cars right under his foot, and you can see that you cut off part of his hand, and I know he's moving, and it's more difficult. And I see some looks like cameras up top. That's pretty interesting. But yeah, it's just one of those shots that I would like to see in context with the actual photo story that you
That went
captured.
along with it. Yeah.
All right.
Fair enough.
Hope
Yep.
that's not too harsh.
You're not being harsh at all.
All right, that's just straight up. It's just when I see his foot, and the first thing I really do go to are the trucks and the car and the lampposts in the background. So I kind of lose it off of that.
Yeah, I would have probably composed it differently if I'd had the chance, but he was just so difficult to work with.
Yeah, that's definitely understandable. I know that, and I know that situation pretty well. So what do we have? Honey,
No, it's syrup.
syrup. Okay. And the assignment, is this an assignment or just playing around?
It is an assignment, yeah. We basically had to find a shot on the internet and then just do exactly the same.
Replicate it. No, I like it. The color is cool. The reason I thought it was honey is more because of the yellow
Color.
glow,
Yeah.
the amber glow. It made me feel like it was honey. But
Yeah,
it's
I
cool.
used a yellow filter in front of the flash.
Okay, all right. No, it's very interesting with how you have the syrup dripping into the spoon and how what did you use to light it?
A softbox.
All right, so you're popping a strobe off,
Yeah.
and you put the yellow filter in front of the strobe, which is then going to send out that nice, warm, soft color. So is this exactly what you replicated? Is it the same exact thing that you saw?
It's pretty much exactly the same thing,
Okay.
apart from the little drop at the bottom
Right.
spoon.
So it was all right in the middle, and it's more of an advertisement shot.
Yeah, basically.
Okay. I
It
mean,
just felt good to be able to know that I can replicate something like that.
yeah, and you definitely did a great job here. I like the fact that it's dripping in, and there's one whole long string. That's really cool. Hold on, I don't even know who that area code is. My phone was ringing. So yeah, I like the colors. I like the. I mean, I like it. I like the composition. I like that you have a nice cross section here, trying everything. That's really what you get in school. Is you try a little bit of everything.
Yeah, I think my main thing is just photographing people.
So
That's
you-
what I'd love to do.
you
But
like
like
doing
I said,
people.
I need to be able to do everything. So
All right, so take me through this last image.
yeah, this one actually comes out a lot more yellow on Flickr somehow.
Mm-hmm.
But it was composed. You can see that. And I was basically asked by the basketball team to shoot some photos,
Mm-hmm.
and this just came to mind instantly. So
What-
I got a ladder
Okay.
and asked them to throw the ball really carefully. They actually did hit my lens once.
And good thing you didn't fall off the ladder.
Yeah, that was a bit scary.
So, were you focused on the one girl shooting, right?
Yeah.
All right. I mean, it's really good that you got up on a ladder. You set this shot up. It doesn't really look set up. I mean, other than the girl smiling and she's like, "Hey, I'm shooting the
Yeah,
basketball."
that's the thing.
Hmm?
I noticed that later, like after I got off the ladder. I was like, "No, you're smiling too much."
Yeah, that's the only thing that's a little awkward. But other than that, it's definitely a cool shot. It's a cool angle. Another shot you could have tried, which would have gotten away from her smiling, would be if you focused right on the rim of the basket.
Yeah.
Or if, you pre-focused on the rim of the basket and she threw the ball up and was trying to score, that could be another type of image. But the ball being up top is definitely... I like the ball being up top. I think it's in the right spot where you captured it, because if I saw hardwood behind the ball, it kind of would have been distracting. But I love how it's just part in the frame and part out of the frame.
Yeah, I also got a shot of it being right in the middle.
And did that
That
work better, or you felt this was stronger?
It really didn't work.
Right. Okay. No, I definitely liked this. This is a shot that, even though she's smiling, I don't mind that. That doesn't really bother me. I think it's a strong image and could be used for quite a lot of things. I mean, it could be one of those Play 60 things that they do here in the U.S. for kids to get active. It could be one of those, hey, I'm smiling, we're all playing basketball, boom, Play 60, top left-hand corner, and you have an advertisement out of it. So it's definitely a winning shot. No
All right,
pun,
good to
no
know.
pun intended on that one. Yeah, so no, I really like you have a nice cross section here. A very, it's very diverse. But your thing is you like to shoot people. Do you have any questions while we're on it for shooting people, or just leave it at that?
No, I don't really have any questions on that. I just sort of do what comes to mind, and if that doesn't work, I just try something else.
Okay, all right. So any feedback for me on the critique? Anything that was too over the top, or that you would have liked to have heard or seen or had me say a little differently?
I think the only question I've got is whether you can actually picture me being a professional photographer.
Why not?
I don't know.
No, I mean everything that you've shown here is well above amateur status in my mind. This shot right here is, like I said, a solid shot that could be perfect for an advertisement. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. This, like I said, if you were hired by somebody to create a fun shot that shows people playing a sport and being active, that's exactly what this is. So you answered that assignment perfectly, and a client would definitely pay for a shot like this.
Cool.
So,
any weak points overall?
Weak points, I mean, what you said you like shooting people the most?
Yeah.
And you just, I mean, I love this shot backstage. I would love that in black and white. I think you're great at capturing these candid shots, and it's actually interesting because you have this shot of this kid is amazing. Like, if you went to a place like Ghana, you said Ghana, right?
Yeah.
If you went there and you photographed 50 people's faces, and then are the houses pretty bad off, or?
Basically their house is made of mud, so yeah.
So yes. Okay, so if you
it
went...
It is an interesting scene, but...
Yeah, so here's something that you could do. You do a portrait of the person, whether it's a kid, whether it's an old lady, an old man, or whatever. You do a shot just like this, and then next to it on the right-hand side of the page, or on the left, depending on which way you set it up, would be a shot of just their house with them in it, sitting on the front step. Yeah. So you're seeing the portrait of the person, and then you're seeing where their location is, and that, if you did that 50 times, you have a book. You have a 100-page book right there. And that's definitely something that's very strong, and I think you're well capable of doing that.
Right. Well, I shot like 10 people in that way.
Okay.
So I do have a series of photos, but I don't think I have enough photos to, do more. But
you have enough.
I do
photos.
plan on going back to Africa and doing something like that again. So
sure. But with that said, you have enough photos to show somebody the start of it, the idea that's there. So if you have 10 strong images, that's plenty to put in the little, in a little portfolio book to sell yourself, to get other types of jobs, or to show people the idea that you're going for.
Yeah.
So no, I definitely think you said you've been shooting for about a year?
I've been shooting for a lot longer, but I've been studying photography since September.
Okay, but I mean, it's all a study. If you've been shooting for longer, it's all study. It's all practice.
Yeah, basically.
So you asked for weak points, eh?
Yeah.
I mean, your focus is on in every shot that we saw. Your processing, I think, is very consistent, whether it's color or black and white. I think you're doing a great job there. This is the weakest shot of the bunch to me, is the guy trying to step on you.
Yeah, I agree.
But even your landscapes, you're showing 3 or 4 different types of photography, and you're capturing them all very well. Whether it's in the studio with with lighting, or it's long exposures that keep interest in a landscape or an architectural shot, or if it's that set-up sports shot, which doesn't really give me the feel that it's fully set up, other than she's smiling. You have a great cross-section of images right now. And obviously, and your exposures seem to be right on with what you're showing me.
Yeah, I'm a bit of a perfectionist, so.
Cool. Why don't you tell everybody what you're shooting with? Not that it matters, but what are you shooting with?
A Nikon D300S.
And what lenses do you have?
I have a Sigma 1770, like I said.
Oh, yes.
A Nikon 1.4, 50 millimeters.
Okay.
And I have a very simple Sigma 70-300.
Okay.
That's it for now.
I mean, that you could do major damage with the 50 millimeter.
Yeah, I do use it a lot.
Yeah. So no, definitely. You asked if you could be a professional. There's absolutely no reason why you couldn't be.
Cool. That's good to know. I mean,
you can do it right now.
It's good to hear that from someone who knows their stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So thank you.
No, based on what you showed me here, and it's only going to get better, and you're already there. So I think you've done a great job, and you're going to continue to do a great job.
All right. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to do this.
No problem. So I'll wrap it up here with the good old, if you want to get involved in the rapid fire critique, you can send in an email to FroKnowsPhoto@gmail.com with the subject line rapid fire. Try to include your 10 best images. If you're going to do a photo story, put your 10 images up for a photo story. If you're going to do a large cross section, make sure they're your best 10 images. And be sure to put in your Skype name so I can try to call you. I'm going to start doing more calls where I may not even talk to the other person so that they can be done a little quicker. But but I do like talking to the other person because you can get a feel for what the image is. So thank you very much, Lori.
Thank you for taking the time to do this.
Hey, no problem. Thanks for staying. You kept. I know you sent me a bunch of messages, but I was definitely trying to find you on here so that we could definitely make this call happen.
Thank you very much.
All right, you're welcome.
It's
Keep
very
up the good
appreciated.
work. I really like what you're doing, and I'm gonna sign off.
All right. Thank you.
Jared Poland, FroKnowsPhoto.com. See ya.